When you look back and you compare yourself to how you were 5 years ago, whether good or bad, you have evolved as a person. When you're a high school freshman, you aren't likely to have the same friends from the same group of people that you were friends with in your first year of elementary school, and probably within this last year, you've lost a couple of friends and gained a few new ones. Friends change, situations change, and overall people change through time. All of these factors morph you into the most up-to-date version of yourself. With this evolution, it is often very apparent and reflected in the things that people are passionate about, especially in things like music. In the music industry, to gain popularity as an artist, and more specifically a hip-hop artist, you'll often see that rappers will make music that tries to resonate with their community through an attempt to provide a sense of shared experience. Every artist will have a fundamental style, and a style that they rarely deviate from. The thing that changes between an artist's music through the passage of time is their passion and their messaging. Many people question and make jokes about how a rapper's album sales aren't the same as they used to be. So-and-so isn't selling like they were on their last album, and so they must have fallen off. A lot more likely that this artist has evolved in some form, and probably doesn't take the same inspiration from the same situation that they were previously in. For the most part, this change probably hasn't caught up to them yet, or maybe it is just as likely that they haven't figured out how to restructure themselves musically. Two perfect examples of this are Meek Mill and Chance the Rapper. When you read comments about Meek specifically, they are often about how he isn't as good of an artist as he once was. If you watch early freestyles of Meek, he's often on the streets of Philadelphia, and you see a talented rapper and a kid rapping with a lot of dependency. His hunger for success in these types of videos is so visible that it almost feels tangible. Having said that, Meek has gone on to superstardom, having Grammy nominations, millions on top of millions of streams on his music, whilst also successfully gaining the lifestyle that he likely dreamed of having. He is now at a point where he has more than surpassed any of his own expectations for himself. The comments that you'll often see regarding Meek Mill speak mostly on the content of his newer music. People feel as if he isn't as impactful as he was on his previous work. This is an extremely destructive perspective from a creative standpoint. It's hard to rap about a struggle that you no longer feel or participate in. And Meek's struggles now are likely much more complex, and so people likely wouldn't resonate with this change in messaging. You shouldn't rap about being in the streets if you aren't in the streets, and clearly Meek left that lifestyle a long time ago. He's a different person, and most likely more fulfilled now. You aren't going to share the same connection with him, and he shouldn't be trying to cater to you. If you preferred Meek when he had next to nothing, that music still exists. There are also plenty of new and up-and-coming artists that need that new sense of support. Eventually though, all artists do eventually reach a point where you no longer get the same feeling from them. It has happened with the likes of Jay-Z, Kanye, and Eminem, where they've put out music that people didn't initially like, and so they either went away and reinvented their style to try and connect with people in a different way, or over time, when people marinated with the music for a little bit more, fans found a new appreciation for it. To conclude this video, I don't think it's a fair expectation to put on artists that they be the same person that they were when you first started listening to their music. The music that they make, fundamentally speaking, never changes, because why would they break a system that has proven to provide them success before? They obviously wouldn't. What changes is the uncontrollable and unseen variables between an artist's old work and new work. A rapper is still the same rapper you connected with on their first, second, or third album. You might not like their newest work, and that's more than fine. But if an artist was to make the same music over and over and over again, what was the point of them trying to progress in the first place? You should give some of your favorite artists a second chance on your least favorite pieces of their work. A second listen when you are more mature and maybe closer to their stage of life. You might see something that you didn't appreciate the first time around. Some albums I thought that were really disappointing on the first listen turned out to be some of my most listened to albums later in my life. To wrap up, there's a popular expression in soccer that form is temporary, but class is permanent. And I think that is really evident in music as well. Just take this clip for inspiration.
Summer nights can even turn cold. In the streets of Philly where niggas don't even get to turn old. My heart pumping to a turn gold. You niggas stuck in neutral and riding like fuck it, it's a long road. Shit, I'm the one, I'm like a lost soul. In the middle of heaven and hell, see nigga, only God knows. When your time gon' come and your eyes roll straight to the back, then you see it all black. That Mac flow lean. rewind you back. Put that Ruger all up to you, watch your mind go splat. All over the wall, nigga, all over that raw. It's the same old me, still the same old G. Got that crack music, listen, let your brain OD. I be playing no P, me and one of my niggas riding through the city, plotting on some of the niggas that be thinking they gon' get me. I'ma run in you niggas, and that's a couple dead bodies for a couple of niggas. Yeah, monster, sitting like a monster, revolver on my lap, barrel full of black Tylers. I lick it at your squadron, roll up like hold up, start spitting while I'm driving. Fill off the roll up, you niggas better slow up before you bang the fuck out. I ain't letting flame blow your brains all the fuck out. All over your shirt, since a youngin' I was buck wild. All up in the dirt, mind screaming, get the fuck out. North where I was raised at, South Philly I played that. Wherever